Welcome to another exciting edition of the Call Nation Radio Show. Welcome. I'm the chief host of College Genesis, guiding you through the next few hours of interesting conversation and stimulating debate here on a beautiful Friday night. I can't ask for anything better. This has been a good month for me and whatnot, so glad to be here. There's, nothing like better than being with my audience here. I apologize. I haven't been doing many shows. I'm trying to take care of health issues and personal issues, so I haven't been able to get online in a while. So bear with me, folks. You know, um, Something's been weighing on me for a long time, and I gotta start being honest with myself. It seems to me, like I said, in my personal life, I meet so many of our people that are good. They're doing what they gotta do, raising their family. They're doing what they gotta do, and they're making moves. Everything. They're not, uh, burdened by nonsense and everything like that. And then you got some people who just, for whatever reasons, can't figure it out. Just can't figure it out. My question tonight is, how long are we going to keep basically worrying about the half of us that can't get it together? That want to do all this stupid ratchet shit, that want to do all this crime, that want to do all this nonsense, everything. I think, we have to move beyond this. How do we do this, right? And that's going to be the question. Unfortunately, we share spaces with the half of us that's dead weight. And you gotta know when you're dealing with dead weight, right? The dead weight always comes around, and they always basically, you could be like, they always move the goalposts. You go out there and they tell you to go out there, get your education, get your skill up, whatever like that. So okay, you do that. Let's say you go to trade school, then you go up and you get some sort of specialty skill, and you're making some good money. Lo and behold, you find a way how to save your money, and you come across an investment opportunity. You find a piece of property you want to flip. You got the credit. You did your everything right. You flip the property, right? Now, financially, you're good. You belong to a different class of people now, right? But there's some people who tell you did something wrong because you left some other people behind. This is where your Umar Johnsons come in. You have brothers out there. I heard him say one time, you got brothers out there who taking care of their families, doing all stuff like that, but that's not enough. What about Shaniqua, who has 3 sons that need your help? You say, well, I can only do my family. That's not enough. So we cannot take care of ourselves in life because we believe in this idea, this nonsense about it takes a village to raise a child. No, it doesn't. I think it takes a village to raise a child has been abused by deadbeats. It takes a village to raise a child. Well, your son's all over the place. He's been in my house 3 nights a week to eat, and stuff like that. Yeah, but it takes a village to raise a child. No, you're responsible for your own goddamn kids. That's not community, caller. See, you're against the community, You're selfish, everything. No, I'm not selfish. I believe everybody has to pull their own weight. And we cannot go along with people who are dead weight forever. You know? And that's why, which we call for the longest time politically in Black America, we've been voting for carrying dead weight people. You got people sitting there, oh yeah, what are you gonna do for Black folks? Right away, when people say, "What are you gonna do for Black folks?" It's always the same thing. The people who are dead weight and parasites on society, right? They're the ones who represent Black America politically. They always want something from the government. They want handouts. They want all this stuff like this, right? And we just go along with it because we're too scared to say, something. Let's take advantage of the opportunities. Let's buy among Black each other. Let's buy Black. All the stuff like that could have worked. The buy Black movement and all the stuff like that. Support Black businesses and whatnot. Support Black industries and everything like that. All that stuff could have worked, and it has worked. But the dead weight people don't want to do that. Why? Because it's easier to sit back and complain and wait for the man to give you something and everything like that. And we have to sit back and go along with it. I can say like this. I tell people all the time. They say, well, why'd you vote for the GOP? It's because I don't really need anything for the Democrats. What do I need from them? The black people who are dead weight need the Democrats. Now, that's even dying. Because the Democrats are now saying, we don't care about the black people because we don't give nothing to give you. And then I hate people like Bill Scott say, well, what are we going to get? What are we going to get for our vote? You're not going to get nothing. You know, we're not going to get nothing. Why is it that every time I hear Phil Scott, he always says what we're going to get? Like there's some big goodie basket that we're going to friggin' get for our vote. Like you're going to go to the silver poll and the white man's going to come out with a good goodie basket and start handing out goodies. Damn, I'm so sick of that. That's that mentality of the dead weight, the friggin' parasites on Black America leading the charge. Now, what could happen is things that concern Black people, or things like no-knock warrants, that affects, stopping police brutality, things like racial profiling, things like making sure that opportunities are there for everybody, that certain individuals are not hoarding opportunity, that there's opportunity across the board for everybody to have fair housing, equal education, stuff like that across the board. Just be fair. That right there affects everybody. Make sure everybody has access to good health care, good education, stuff like that. It ain't like, but it has to be done with everybody. And if there's some shortfall where Black people don't get it, let's find out why that is. I know a lot of our communities are neglected because we're not involved. It's not anybody's fault that a lot of Black men don't like seeing a doctor. So we got poor health outcomes. Maybe we need more outreach. Maybe they need to be funding through an advocacy for people like Black men to do prostate exams and stuff like that. These are things you could do, advocacy. But you cannot build a movement based on, I want a bag of goodies, sitting around thinking your vote's going to give you a bag of goodies specific to you as a race. Now, when you have a people that have concerns, like the African American, years ago, I did this thing where I participated in this health summit, and they were basically concerned about the rate of Black men who are not getting proper health care. They're not, and they looked into the culture of Black men being suspicious of the doctor and being suspicious of things, not getting the prostate exam done and getting their stuff done and whatnot. So they had to spend the money to educate the people. And I was part of that, educate the people on why you need to see a doctor, why you need to do that. And that took some money. Those are resources that the government and everything like that do. They make stuff available. But that's only because in the long run, that benefits society, because when people don't get sick, they don't end up in the hospital. So we do preventative care. We make sure people are getting proper medical care, make sure they have access to medication and stuff like that. Take the stigma off of seeing a psychiatrist. So people always think that in our community, if you see a psychiatrist, you're crazy. No, the stigmata of seeing a psychiatrist is going through, because more and more Black people are seeing mental health professionals. That took time to educate the community by reaching into the community to see things. That's the sort of advocacy you want. But to sit back and think that you're going to sit back and do nothing, you're going to sit back and do. Also, what about youth during the summertime? It used to be a time there used to be Job Corps. Kids used to have jobs for summertime, and the kids had something to do. I don't see anybody doing that anymore. No one's talking about youth unemployment anymore. Those are things that the state and the government could do. You could lobby for and do. So therefore, it's not like a bag of goodies and everything like that. So if you basically make those things available, and then look at how we fare in all these things that are on the books and everything, then you could say, okay, we're getting our fair share. But to think you're going to get something for nothing, and you're just going to basically do nothing all year, and then at the voting time someone's going to promise you something, a reparations check. That's not going to happen. You have people actually taking serious conversation about getting no vote, no reparations, no vote. The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So these people are dead weight, dead weight in our community. I know it's years ago, about 8 years ago, we were doing good. I disagree with my good brother Dollar Bill about this, about Jay Morrison. I believe Jay Morrison made a lot of mistakes. But I think he was on the right track, what he was doing. And the whole Buy Black movement, Black Wall Street and stuff like that, I was a part of. There were people doing a lot of things. Black people networking with this new thing called the internet and stuff like that. And we were talking about buying black. And there was a lot of people basically saying, yeah, we're going to buy black and everything. We're going to, they had people going on Blog Talk Radio and stuff like that. Talk about, we're going to show people how to get their CDLs. We're going to show people how to get this skill, how to apply for home loans and everything like that, and stuff like so. So therefore, that was the mood of Black America. Those were people who were ready to put in work. But the dead weight people, right? See, I said something, and I said this tonight to my good friend Dollar Bill. Like, I'm sick and tired of one thing. I'm sick and tired of. I don't like content creators. I don't like content creators. I don't care who you are. We have 8 years of content creation and no years of building anything. The content creators are nothing but dead weight. All they do is put our problems out there for the public to see. And we're basically like this, Yeah. I wish somebody could have showed you how to get your house. We had people like that doing that, helping people that was in foreclosure. It ain't the end of the world. You could put your house up for sale while it's in foreclosure. Person buys your house, Denzel, and you agree to pay that person rent. They fix the house up. You live in the house for a year, pay them a rent, and enough time to get back on your feet and buy another house. Those are things like that we should be discussing when people have a thing. That's what's called being productive. That's what we call helping people out, giving people sound advice. But sitting there talking about all the problems in Black America every day and day out because you want to try to monetize a channel is foolishness. And I believe these content creators are not doing anything. Show me what they have done. Show me what they have built. Show me how we've advanced anything. They always use the straw man, the reparation. They know no reparations are coming. So they know that's the easy way out. It's much easier to talk about reparations than it is to talk about, let's have a Buy Black campaign. What happened to all these Buy Black apps? I still got one. How come no one ever promotes that? Whatever happened to us building our own platform? If the white boys could do it with Parler, Rumble, and all these stuff like that, and Truth Social, why the fuck can't we do it? Why can't we have our own platforms? Because that takes fucking work. Yeah, the Anton Daniels dead weight. All he does is go around, just put out Black people's business to the world for content and for money. This is what I'm sick and tired of. I'm sick and tired of people online preaching about what Black people need to do, and they're not building anything. We know we got problems, but we have solutions. If you got a platform, first thing we should have did was, let's say we are going to do content creation. Why are we building a Black-owned platform? Same way we have StreamYard here that goes to YouTube. I got Twitch, Kick, and all these other people. Why don't we have a Black-owned streaming service that's monetized and stuff like that we could all get behind, that we could regulate who comes in and who comes out? I thought it was that because why? Because that takes work. Content creation does not take work. Just getting up there talking about Black people, what we don't do, doesn't take any work. Actually living the life and doing what you're supposed to do in life takes work. So me personally, I'm just like, I'm ready to start building with people that want to build, and I'm sick and tired of talk. If you got talk, You know, something. I don't even watch. People say, "Oh man, look at this speech by Doctor Such as." I don't want to hear nobody's fucking speech. I've heard all the speeches I'm going to hear. I've heard all the advice I want to hear. I want to know, what plan do you have moving forward? What plan do you have? What are you doing? How can I get behind what you're doing? Yeah, tomorrow's the 26th anniversary of Liberian Independence Day. Great Republic of Liberia. We're not going to lose Liberia again. We're not going to do it. No matter what these savages try to do, we're not going to let them have it. Simple as that. Yeah, not going to have it. So the bottom line is this. One thing I do like about as soon as I go to Liberia and Africa, the last thing people want to hear is, people don't know anything about who all these famous YouTubers are over there. No, we haven't lost it, bro. We haven't lost it because the majority of people in Liberia see things my way now. I don't care about somebody's native background, whatever. I don't care about that shit. The majority of Liberians see things my way. Took a while, but now they see things our way. I don't care about who runs the country, what background you are. So long as you believe in the republic and the constitution of the country and what the country creed stands for, that's all I care about. Do you believe Liberia is an African, a black nation, under God? We're not. That's all you need to know. Is it a place of refuge for black people in the world to settle there no matter where you come from? If you believe that, that's fine. But if you're a tribalist, look, DK, I don't want to see American Liberians back in power. I think you got me all wrong. Because a lot of them are fucking race traders their goddamn self. I don't give a fuck about no American Liberians. If you need to know. They had their little run. They had a golden age, but that's up fucking it. They're gone. Oh, no, George Weah is not coming back. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The only reason why it was even close in the last election because Cummings ran. This time, if Cummings stays out or not, it's going to be a landslide. He's not going to win. All the counties, even the counties that they thought he didn't win one county. They don't want George Weah back. That's a bunch of stuff you see online. They don't want George Weah back. They know. Liberians are stupid. Talking to somebody that's had people on the ground. Talk to my wife every day. I talk to Liberians every day. That ain't happening. And if George Weah does get power, as long as he follows the Constitution, that's fine. My first trip to Liberia was George Weah as president. I had no problem with him. Because he followed the Constitution, the rule of law. You follow the rule of law, we got no problem. So, but like I said, we have half of us in Black America productive. We have families. We do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and everything like that. We got it together. Then you got another half, right? I'm just like, what it's like. And I would like to take I'm gonna stop before I get angry. I want to be friggin' nice tonight, not say things that's gonna friggin' really make people hate me and whatnot. I'm looking like a fool like Charleston White. Why the fuck is anybody taking this clown seriously? It constantly said nigga this, nigga that, the nigga. Who the fuck are you around? See, that's when you're around garbage bass, dead weight black people in your life. I'm not around those sort of black people. Don't know about them. Don't want to know about them. People I'm around are professionals. Plenty. I got plenty of black people in my network, my families, everything doing well. Majority of black people I know are doing well. doing what they gotta do. I'm not around ghetto hood rat people. The only time I see them is on fucking line once in a while. So I'm not around that. So what they do is not my problem. So why do I need to hear Charleston White tell me about what's going on in the hood, this, and Memphis? I don't give a fuck about Memphis. I don't give a damn. If that's the way these people want to live like fucking savages, let's go right the fucking head. They're dead weight. Stop worrying about them. Let them be. Leave them alone. Cut them off. Now, the only thing I would say is, how do we start having venues? And we should start doing that, right? We should start having venues again, right? Where people, you sign up, you get an invite, and we have put together a large venue. If you're not basically invited, if you're not invited to these venues, wherever like that, you're not coming in. The problem is every time we do something, I remember like Greek Fest years ago. Greek Fest was like black kids used to get together. We go down to Virginia Beach oceanfront, sometimes Freaknik, Atlanta, and college kids get together, do college kids things, stuff like that. But here you got these fucking stupid, dumb, inbred motherfuckers showing up, man. Rowdy, violent, ignorant, and they turn this shit out. People like, yo, man, we come down here just as fellowship with other black people nationwide. So how do you have events and not these people show up? It's like, yo, we're having an event, but you can't tell nobody. These motherfuckers always find you out. Craig and them always find out you're having something. Without no doubt, man. You have a club, whatever, everything's going good. And then next, oh no, here comes Craig and them. Here comes Craig and them without doubt. Oh no, Bonquisha getting out when not she got a stank attitude when not, oh Lord. They're gonna turn it out. Oh, wait a minute. Craig's other baby mama showed up too and whatnot. Oh Lord. Well, you know how it ends up at the night, We're dragging people out, whatnot, bottles are flying, cops there, whatnot, tape on the ground and whatnot, because someone got shot. How do we stop all this shit? How do we separate ourselves from these fucking people? Now, people will say the other day, Collar, man, you were really going to Africa. Look, I would take Africans any day over these fucking people. Really, I would. We have to get rid of the dead weight in our community and not apologize for it. Let's stop talking about them. Let's stop mentioning them. Let's put them out of put them out of pasture. Let's not. I don't. Matter of fact, I don't want nobody come on my show mentioning these motherfuckers ever again. I don't give a damn about ratchet fucking women. Don't care about them. I want to hear about the black people that's doing shit, which is, I think, is the majority. Those people are going to be what they are. They're not going to change. So why bother about them? All we could do is get together with people who are doing like mine. I don't want to hear about their music. I don't want to hear about anything like that. Anytime one of these rappers die, I don't give a damn. Like, every time one of these rappers die, I never knew who he was. Young Dolph, I never knew who the fuck that was. Pop Smoke, never heard of him. Another guy, never heard of him. Now, that's a good thing. I never heard none of these rappers that got killed in the last few years. Don't know. I don't care. I'm not mourning them. I don't give a shit. I want to stick with the black people that's doing things productive and positive. I'm interested in what LL Cool J is doing. I'm interested in what Will Smith is doing. I'm interested in Ice Cube. He's moved his 3-man league to BET. That's a big power move. Talk to me about that. Leave that freaking garbage ghetto shit alone. Dead weight people. Let the white man deal with that shit. He created that shit. Let him deal with that shit. Let us start living our lives and whatnot, And then when the people start seeing you living a life and you're not concerned about them, they're like, you see the guy the other day, I don't know what's going on in the case in Wisconsin, where the guy got shot, whatever like that. But I don't know. I'm not gonna jump to the conclusion, man. Somebody say the freaking guy pulled a gun on a cop, but you gonna pull a gun on a cop, you deserve what you get. I'm not gonna get out there protesting, you act as fucking fool. Every time I get out there, and oh man, police shooting when well, let's hear the whole story. Well, the nigga carjacked this guy, stuck up an old lady, went like this, fired at a cop. They gave him a chance to put the weapon down. He fired at the cop, whatnot. And then they opened fire on him. My boo-boo didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. My boo-boo didn't do nothing, whatnot. And then you got the whole community rallying around these fucking deadbeats. We're not like, it's our responsibility. Yeah, I ain't gonna do a 24-hour special on Liberia, but tomorrow's Liberia Independence Day. I am gonna do a Liberian history, a show tomorrow night. So you're gonna have two shows back to back, tonight and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's gonna be my Liberian history 26th anniversary. We pay tribute to the great Black Republic of Liberia. Our republic, our land. Our place in the sun for the time being, until we have other like that, till we do find other place pastures. Liberia is it. That's our place in Africa. But yeah, so we have to basically take what's good. I'm not gonna, even in Liberia, I'm not gonna focus on the negative. There's a lot of good in the country. A lot of good. A lot of people, young people doing farming and doing a lot of stuff like that. I mean, the young people in Liberia, they're something else. All they need is opportunity, right? These kids are brilliant, smart. They could take computers apart. You think your computer or laptop is broken and whatnot? You think they throw that shit away? They know how to take that shit apart. And it's just amazing what these kids are able to do in that country. Liberian mechanics, shit. Ain't no cargoes on fucking thing. They'll find a way how to fix that shit. There's amazing freaking people. I got every faith they'll be all right. And all I ask for is to take my hand in brotherhood and friendship. I'm not trying to take over their country. I'm not trying to impose myself on the country. All I'm asking for, if I reach my hand out in brotherhood, you reach it about halfway. I understand things have not gone great like that, but I will always be your friend and your brother and fight with you to the end of time. And I'll never leave you or forsake you or betray you. So that's all we ask for is that friendship or brotherhood. You want to be a brother to me. You want to reach your hand out and be a brother to me. You're a black man. I reach a brother. I reach my hand out in friendship and brotherhood too. I had to bring in my doctor, man. One of my doctors now is a Ghanaian, man. Me and him will hit it off really good and whatnot. He was like, "Man, when you coming to Ghana?" I said, "Nah, I'm Team Liberia." He said, "Man, I gotta get you into Ghana." He's a cool brother, man. But he's a resident doctor. He's not an attending doctor. Most African doctors here are residents. Residents means you're not stationed at the hospital. You just go from hospital to hospital. Attending doctors, we got a couple African Americans who are attending doctors. That means you've been there for 20 years and you're part of the management of a hospital. We have a lot of African doctors and nurses that are residents. Here, this guy, Ghanaian guy, he's cool as hell. He's friends with my main doctor, African American brother, Dr. McCray. They're good friends or not, I told him, I said, man, I'll go to Ghana one day, man, but I'm more Liberia. I'm Team Liberia. He said, nah, man, I'll make you Team like Ghana. I said, nah, man, I already thought long and hard, man. My family's in Liberia, that's it. I'll visit Ghana one day, but that's it. But that's a positive side of us, Yeah, the doctors are taking good care of me, they're gonna see in a couple of weeks. Well, I should need an operation, not. They're taking good care of me. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's all they ask. So I'm doing my part. They taking care of me and whatnot. I'm really good in taking care of. Got my one Nigerian nurse one night when I go to the hospital, man. She always breaking my balls, man. She always breaking my balls. She loves me to death, man, but she always breaking my balls, you know? You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to stop doing this. Oh, Lord. Well, she's good. She's cool though. Real sweet lady, Miss Cara. So I have a positive relationship with Africans. I don't know where anybody got this thing from. I just don't like the Africans who did not get. I understand. You live in America. You're around a lot of ignorant Black Americans, and and a lot of times Africans they little get back at us. I get that. That comes with the territory. They're gonna say a little slick shit. Yeah, I can live with that. That's all in fact shit I say. I say shit. I say much worse shit. You know. But yeah, so I was asked, "Are you Pan Am?" Still, we have to learn who each others are, right? And I believe the dead weight people are ruining the relationship between Africans and African Americans. They're the ones that basically don't want to learn their history. They're the ones that are adamant, we're not African. We're not. What the fuck are we then? We didn't come from Africa. What the fuck are these? Are dead weight people who don't want to know history. Never picked up a book. Really. In order for you to believe you were already here, you have to have no knowledge of history, no good timeline, no nothing. I read so many books and stories that I got a pretty good example of what happened. I know the Chinese came here in 1849, right? You can't tell me the Chinese came here in 1700 because it was well documented they came here in the 1800s in the railways. I know the Europeans came here in the 1500s and everything like that. And the first Black people that came here came from Europe, why not? And then the first Africans that came here in 1619 directly from Africa. So these are well documented things. The transatlantic slave trade did happen. The horrible transatlantic slave trade happened. You cannot friggin' deny that. When you try to deny history, when you try to say you're a Black Aboriginal, that you were already here in America, that's factually untrue. And these people who are going around spreading misinformation, they're a burden on us. We want to know our real history. We cannot have a relationship. When I hear people talk about I can have an honest debate with Africans because I believe I'm one. I believe an African American is just an African with some European admixture and Americanized culture. That's it. But for the most part, I'm an African by default. I'm an African by blood. See, when you believe that you're an African, we can have a conversation. When you acknowledge that you came from Africa and you came from the transatlantic slave trade, right? And your culture is pretty much African American, Africanized America. You're an American with an African story, or an African with an American story. When that truth is evident, right? Now we can have a conversation between other groups of Black people that come over here because you know who you are. But when you start talking about I'm FBA and I'm an Indian and whatnot, I mean, these people that are doing this, like I tell Kidola, these are dead weight people, Black people, and they're always out there online, going out there, being seen, and people make it seem like that's our community. No, that's a good 40% of Black America. That's insane. Majority of us know who the fuck we came from, but these people, social media has it so you think these people are the majority. Well, I don't say Pan African's a dead end movement. I say Pan African as it is right now. If you can't basically, if the African does not see himself as an African, and you got Black people in America don't see themselves as African, you can't have a Pan African movement. There has to be something to gain in Pan Africanism. Right now, there's nothing to gain. There's no power in Pan Africanism. There's nothing to gain. So you got these deadbeat people, deadweight people who don't know their history. They want to make up history as they go along. They want to do a bunch of stupid stuff, you know. Yeah, the idea of Pan Africanism, DK, is the fact that we see black people who have Negroid descent. Because let me say something, and what I'm about to say is going to hurt some people's feelings. I want to paint you a picture of a typical American town, Mississippi, Texas, whatever, where there's a slave market. Now, people don't know this, right? But there were other races of people here in America. There was Chinese here. There were red men here, Native Americans here. There were people from the Amazon here, people from the Philippines. These people walked around freely. The only group of people that was chained like a beast was the person of black African descent. So that created an identity around race. And we were called Africans. Africans were the slave, were designated as the slave race of America. Not Native Americans, not black Aboriginals, the African. So therefore, out of that came the idea of we should unify based on what we look like, because any African that came to these shores was subject to the slave trade. You could be an Igbo king or Yoruba king or whatever like that, Manding king, whatever like that. As soon as you landed on these shores in the Western Hemisphere, you were a slave. Your status was slave just by what you look like, your phenotype. That wasn't true about the Aboriginal, the Native Americans, the red man, and all these other people like that. It was only true of the African. Out of that came a solidarity based on race. Now, our brothers and sisters in Africa never experienced that. So it's hard for them to understand why do we make a big deal about race and color all the time? Because we were that they made the white man made that the single most important thing about our existence is our color and race, and he degraded that. He took our humanity from that. And Pan Africanism was a way to redeem ourselves. But Africans are not redeeming themselves. The problem is we try to bring our Western Pan Africanism is Western culture and Western black civilization. We tried to bring that to Africa and it failed because they simply don't, in spite of everything they went through for Africa. Now, in Southern Africa is a little different. They had an experience because they had white settlement, but still is never on the level of the black people from the Western Hemisphere, where we're the minority group, you know, particularly in America. But if we can't have a conversation about, honest conversation about who we are, we can't have a conversation at all. So what I need my African brothers and sisters to stop doing is giving entertainment to these people who get online. Well, I'm not African. I'm gonna cut them off. No more conversation. Cut them off. If you got a panel, whatever like that, and you invite one of these people up there and they start talking about the Aboriginals, cut them off. Don't let them speak. Cut off the dead weight. The Bible says, "Give no place to the devil." That means you don't give a place. Why do you think they don't come up here? Because they know they're going to be gone in a second. They would love to come up here. They know they're not going to last. So when people sit there and look at dynasty shows, the people sitting there going back and forth about this FBA stupid nonsense and everything. The question I need to ask you: do you believe you're an African? No, I don't. I'm gonna then get the fuck off my panel. That's what if I was Dynast, that's what I'm trying to question Dynast. You don't believe you're African. What the hell are you doing on my panel? If somebody says a black person in America says they're not African or not, they are gone here. They're gone. I'll block you. You'll never see me again. Now, does it mean that we all have the same culture? No. But when it comes down to it, right? European is a European, an African is an African, and an Asian is an Asian. Which side do you fit on? There's no such thing as no black Aboriginal. There's no getting out of the history. We have to own our history. Well, I know it's painful because people don't know how to deal with that. You know, well, Colin, man, I don't like talking about slavery because it makes me so angry. When yeah, but it's something you got. We got to stand up and be men. That's something we got to deal with. Yeah, it'd be nice to be like, oh yeah, let's just live our life. But you know for a fact your ancestors' blood is still out there. No, it's like this, DK. If Africans, the thing is, if when Africans come to the West, DK, Africans say that, right? When they say, oh, let me break it down to you. I think a lot of black people have used when they say I'm black, that means well, man, you don't eat watermelon, fried chicken, you don't say nigga when that ignorant black people, the dead weight. But if you say that I am African, I'm black, that means you're part of the black race. No, you're not black American. No, you may not like Popeye's chicken. You know, you may not like, hip hop or whatever like that, but you're black African. Whether you like it or not. And when you go to Europe, they let you know the first thing they look at is your race identity. They're not stupid, DK. A white South African is not an African. That's another thing. That's another thing, foolishness that people put out. A white South African is not an African. Their DNA originates in Europe. People can't just say I identify as an African. It don't work like that. When we say black African, we say black African infrastructure. That means only black people are African. People can name themselves all they want. This is us taking control over our identity. People can say whatever they want, but I don't consider nobody. I don't consider white people fucking white people African. I see you're a European with an African passport. Now, when I say I'm an African, I say I'm an African descent. I'm an African American of African descent. I'm not a continental African. I don't have an African nationality. But racially, I am African. Well, it's like this. It's like this. I look, first of all, there's a difference between the Berbers, the Amazigh, whatever their name is, and the white South Africans. The Berbers have been there for 6,000 years. They are indigenous to the continent. Same thing with the Hamites and all these other people right there. White people only been there for 300 some years. They're not Africans. There's nothing African about a fucking blonde, blue-eyed European. Most Berbers call themselves North Africans. Arabs colonized Egypt. Arabs are not African. They colonized Egypt. They're not indigenous to the continent. They conquered the Berbers and they conquered everybody and gave them Arabic and Islam and stuff like that. Islam is not the indigenous language to that region. Neither is Arabic. But yeah, so we got dead weight in our community, right? And people are going around spreading misinformation about our history. People are basically on that begging train, ain't doing nothing, whatever like that. Look, like I said, I've seen black people were so fired up, man, especially during that Wakanda thing. We were talking about buying black, buying. Then here comes Yvette Carnell and Tariq Nasheed talking about reparations. Why? Because that's an easy way out. Easy to just basically create content and talk about reparations than actually to put in work. That's why I don't like content creators. They're freaking useless. All they do is sit back and create content and content over gossip. We know we got fucking problems in Black America. We know that. We ever notice that we're the only group of people that like airing our dirty laundry in fucking public? If you go to I came across something a couple years ago about the Cambodian community, right? There's things in the Cambodian community that was really embarrassing, whatever, a couple years ago. I forgot what it was, right? But the thing is, they do such a good job of keeping it a secret and dealing with the problems, right? It doesn't get out in the public and everything like that. As soon as we got a problem, man, we're gonna go on the fucking nearest talk show, and now you got the internet blasting it all out and whatnot, and everybody gets to talk about our issues and whatnot. We have no privacy, no privacy. We have no privacy whatsoever because the content creators want to make sure all our problems are out there before the world because they do that for monetary gain. They sit back, oh yeah, we gotta talk about this issue. No, we the fuck we don't. Every other group of people keep their freaking problems inside their own house. They don't air their dirty laundry in public. Not only we air our dirty laundry in public, we let our enemies come and air our dirty laundry for us. They gonna be carrying out dirty, nasty drawers, saying, "Look at this, man. Look, I got these niggas shitty drawers out there in public, whatnot." But freaking black, we gotta stop. We have to stop. And the people who like doing that are these deadbeat black people, these ignorant ass black people who just basically go around all the time. They can't. The worst thing they could have did was give these motherfuckers access to a camera, so they could be ignorant as they wanted to post it online. I thought when people got the camera phone upload, I thought, oh, it's going to show a good side of Black America. All the positive people who do so, I know for myself, I don't post. I do a lot of positive stuff all day, but I don't post online because I keep my privacy private. Why do people feel like every thought that comes to their head, they got to go online and tell the world about it? These content creators. Why do we got to see every freaking stupid incident in every fucking hood? We got to see some Buquisha getting roughed up by the police in a Walmart. Why do we got to see that? So how am I saying to myself, why, what do we do to put this out there? We put out the worst things out there towards our people, and wonder why people think less of us. Some people like that, go around to the hood. I remember I watched this thing. I don't know if it's still on. Somebody could tell me the hood vlogs. Hood vlogs. Guys, man, some of these videos, one of the worst hoods and stories, backstories and whatnot. Some of those videos had 1 million views. Talk about the most degrading, most stupidest stuff. And you got grown men in their 40s and whatnot talking about prison life and all this shit like that. And I'm saying to myself, we platform fucking idiots. People sagging their pants. That 60-year-old motherfucker sagging it. One guy went off on this one guy. He said, "You're 63 years old. You're a troll. You're trolling." Imagine that. You're 63 years old, no real job, no nothing, no real income, You make your money trolling people trying to get monetized online. That's what I mean by dead weight. Have nothing to show for what you in life, but you get online trolling and acting like you're trying to solve some problem. No, you're trolling. People want friggin' thing, yeah. Yeah, white people love Charleston White. He's an embarrassment, you know? When he first came out, I thought he had something going on. I said, okay, it's got young bride like that. Now I'm looking at him like, man, the stuff he's been doing, man, I'm like, it's fucking ridiculous. Everything, do you gotta put well, why don't you say the black people I'm associated with, because I come from the ghetto, the hood, and all shit like that. I come from the worst parts of Black America, right? I understand that not all Black Americans think like me, live like me, and they're not around the type of people I'm in. So I don't want you to get an impression that all this is concerned all Black, because it doesn't. I don't give two shits about fucking gangs and drug dealer. I don't give a flying fuck about none of that shit because it doesn't affect me. So that's not my business. My business are people I call and I see how they're doing. They're doing things and whatnot. You know, hey, what are we doing? You know, getting the business, handling business. Those are the type of Black people I'm around. Those are the type of Black people I want to look out for. Now, the people you feel like those are your people, your peeps and whatnot. You care like this, you know. Hey, go. Hey, I wish you a lot of luck. Wish you had the resources to help them out. That's not my fucking problem. He's another one. Say stupid shit, you know. I ain't no African when I, these people are so fucking stupid. Was it Cameron? I ain't no African. I ain't African. What the fuck are you, nigga? Yeah, well, so like I said, we got to carry these people around. You know, why we got these people still hanging on? Why are these people around us? You know, it's time to get rid of the dead weight. And people are dead weight. They don't want to embrace their heritage. They don't want to embrace who they are. We can't move forward with that. And I'm not going to have a conversation with people who fucking think like that, you know? But we just got all these people that get out there and they get in front of a camera and whatnot, you know, and it's creating a thing. Before our culture, the only serious people got in front of Black America. And you got it on the news, maybe you have a BT special, whatever like that, or maybe on some serious rap video. Now you got everybody, anybody got access to the internet, right? And the culture of Black America changed so rapidly that any fool gets up there and he gets enough views when that becomes the culture all of a sudden. You got the content creators and whatnot, you know. I had to catch myself with O'Shea Duke Jackson. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, celebrity gossip whatnot. Who the fuck cares about celebrity gossip? Really? Why the hell are we listening to fucking nonsense about celebrities? What do they do for us? So that's your look. This is how it is. And it's not just Black people, right? I'm sick and tired of content creators that are white too. These guys going around acting like they're like, you got this guy, what's his name? That hates Black people, Black guy that hates Black people. They had him on a thing talking about, we're gonna let you be the principal content. These two unemployed motherfuckers on Twitch talking about granting him rulership over Black America, when not Wakanda, whatever, you know. And a lot of these white guys don't even have fucking jobs. They walk around with their little mics and their cameras when they're getting monetized and whatnot on Twitch, on Kick, and as a content creator. It's like your kid, when your kid goes to school and they say, what your daddy does? Oh, Billy, what your dad does? Oh, my dad's a content creator. Oh, okay. So that's a gig now. My daddy's a content creator. My mom's a relationship coach. My mom's a gossip columnist on a fucking YouTube channel. People say, "Well, Kyle, you sound so angry." Yeah, I am fucking angry, you know, because I feel like, man, I feel like I wasted years with this. It's almost like I feel like I should have never came online. I should have found a way how to grow my organization without the internet. I probably have someplace right now. Now people can't distinguish between me, somebody who's 100% serious about what I'm doing, and somebody who's just a fucking content creator who just want to for clicks and views and monetization. I'm not monetized. By the way, I put my link in there. If you got Venmo, if you want to contribute to the thing donations, it's at Collagen5 on Venmo. If you want to hit me with donations, whatever you can, you can. You don't, you don't. You know, because I want to see test the waters because I really want to start. You know, the stuff I'm doing overseas and whatnot, it's going to take monetization. And every time I get, I promise you, will be fully transparent. Be buying books and stuff for kids, my Liberian kids over there, and I fund a lot of schools and give these kids a chance in life and whatnot. You know, so if you want to be joining something, hopefully one day I'm gonna have a cultural center built. You know, I get the money. I might start a Get Then Go, something like that, or GoFundMe for a cultural center. Raise like $20,000 for a cultural center, and that'll be a place with computer labs, everything like that. We could really get this thing really rolling. You know, then we really got something going on, something tangible, something building something. You know, I want to leave something behind. You know, not just freaking sit here gossiping all freaking day. You know, for a few bucks and whatnot. You know, it's time to start building. Those of us who are building businesses and building stuff like that, we got to get together with other people's building. Whatnot. Leave these dead weight people alone. Let's not talk about them. Let's don't care about them. Let's just ignore them. And say, well, how like this? Well, we got to start getting serious about having exclusive venues. We got to get back to that. People are like, oh, where were you at this weekend? Oh, I was at this such a man. I didn't know about that. Yeah, you. There's a good reason why you didn't know about that because we didn't want you there. When we start doing that and we start getting doing venues by invite only and stuff like that, you watch the community nationwide would turn overnight. Culture would turn around overnight. But every time we have these things, these venues and everything, people always think about the bottom line. All they care about is a bunch of people selling tickets to get in and whatnot. They don't care who they let in, whatever like that, and they just want to make the money and bounce. So I worked at a club for years. No the club scene, they just want to let anybody in the door. We don't care like this. We got to start getting to our private venues and stuff like that, day parties and stuff like that. You know, people can have a good time. People know who each other are and stuff like that. Can't have just people just showing up out of nowhere and whatnot. You ain't on the list. You invite somebody invite you, they're responsible for you. We got to get back to that, folks. So, with that being said, I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. Not gonna be here all night, folks. You want to add to the conversation? Feel free to call in. You know, yeah, this channel's growing. It's all good, but I think the channel should be growing bigger. Maybe I need another time slot. Maybe I'm not in a good time slot. Maybe I start doing shows in the afternoon. Who knows? Depending on my time is. If I do shows in the afternoon, I swear to God, they'll only be 2 hours. I got to get back to work. Maybe I can squeeze in 2 hours to the daytime and do a show. Probably be able to reach more people. But that's what it is, folks. We got to start building among ourselves. We can't let these people ruin us, and we're not being a representation of us, and we're not. We're literally carrying dead weight politically. I think black people are tired of carrying dead weight politically. People are like, oh well, if the Republicans get there, they're gonna cut Section 8. We don't give a fuck. They're gonna cut food stamps. Who the fuck cares? They're gonna cut welfare. So what? We're tired of carrying dead weight. People are a burden. I don't know how we fix this. One thing we can't do is let you feel guilty about, how you feel. All right, so that's what I had to say. My monologue, 1 hour monologue. So I say my monologue. I say what I gotta say, and that's it. And I give people time to call in. If they don't want to call in, I'll just end the show. They respond to my monologue. How do we get? What about the dead weight in our community? How do we get rid of them? How do we rein them in? What do we do? Was I being too harsh tonight? Dark Migo stepping right up.
Kala Thanos, how are you, man? How you
What's going
feeling?
on, brother?
I'm doing great. Just came to check in. I'm glad you're going live, man. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I would say, yeah, you nailed it right on the head. This is a great topic. I've been saying that thing, and you can hear me?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, like I said, I got my hand on the pulse of Black America.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, I had the other window up. The video was playing, but I was gonna say, yeah, you was speaking like some stuff I've been kind of saying too. How black people kind of strayed away from like getting real jobs. Like you see how it's like content creating and all these other things.
Yeah,
It just strays
that's
away
not
from
helping
black
us
people,
now.
right? And one thing I noticed too, it's like black people can't like that's how they say we like the top sellouts. I could kind of see it because they would rather be a content creator, take the cool route rather than just taking a hard working route, looking like the hard working black man, making a hard working black man with a job look cool instead of the content creator. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at Brandon now. He freaking completely sold out. He said
Yeah.
in the group chat, look at these white people. I guess he's complete coon and whatnot. These white children and whatnot. These white children are so innocent and whatnot. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know.
People will
He's
sell
crazy.
their soul. Literally sell their soul. To now he's on this black people ain't shit. He's competing with Anton Daniels and all these other fucking conservatives, you know, trying to rein in Black America. We know we got problems. I'm not gonna make the problems of Black America my sole purpose of living, you know.
But Brandon, he's a Cali Black, so like I'm not really surprised with him, taking that kind of stance. Usually the Cali Blacks kind of always lean towards that.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, you know. These guys, you know, they always do is sit around all the time, you know, like it is like dead weight on the community. What do you add to give besides getting online
Just
talking
gossip.
shit, gossiping, you know?
Yeah, and then that's a sin. So I don't know why people keep doing it. So yeah, Kyle, it's looking pretty doomsday for the Black community. I know we still gonna strive and get it done, but like you said, there's a lot of dead weight. It's more
Yeah,
bad.
we gotta cut. Like I said, me personally, I don't want to hear about this shit. These motherfuckers no more.
Yeah.
There are people who are determined to fucking be fuck ups, you know, like this Young Miami. There's a lot of people feeling that Young Miami shit, you know, Robin. But hey, look, I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't got nothing to say, you know, other than the fact that long as it's not being played in my presence and whatever like that, you know, I don't have nothing to do with people who think like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I definitely
I'm not
understand
making myself upset, whatever like that. Like this, we just got to start drawing lines.
Yeah,
You're over there with that nonsense. We're over here with ours. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's just how it has to be.
We make their problems our problems.
Our problems. Yeah, we try to solve their problem exactly. Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to solve nobody's fucking problem.
I don't. Yeah.
No, fuck you. You know. Is that when the same people? You tell them all the time, the YNs, yo, dude, man, you can't be out here like that. Police can roll up on you. I ain't saying nothing. Next thing you know, police roll up. This nigga got a fucking Glock. Pop, pop. He's dead. Now you're out there, the family out there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, or let me give you an example. You'll notice that right now, there's a lot of these black guys. I think they're foreigners. They're always on kick, whatever like that, going up to white girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the African guys and the Caribbean.
I think it's guys, African guys. You find
it's the African and Caribbean descendants. Yeah,
and Caribbean. And I'm saying to myself, do you understand how dangerous that is?
Exactly.
In this country. And then when that guy, when this Nolan Bell, whatever his name is, Wells, whatever,
Nolan Wells,
platform and whatnot. But what the fuck do I care? I'm sure you've been warned all the time. Stay the fuck away from these white devils.
Yeah.
So, but since you don't want to listen, you're on your own. So you ain't gonna see me out there protesting. I don't care if they never solved this case. You know?
Yeah. Me neither. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of kids, and my thing is like I feel like he probably was a little racist. That boy. It'd be a lot of black kids that be in groups like that be talking down on black people.
Hey, I think you got a window open. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the kids, they be in these little racist friend groups. You know what I mean? They the only black friends, so and the white guys is popular, so they let them, call them the N-word and all this stuff, so he could get some little clout. I'm like, yeah, these little black kids nowadays are different, college.
Oh yeah, no, I seen it too. Yeah. When they
it reminds me of that skit Drewski did of the black guy in the frat. I kind of imagine that's what the Nolan guy was. It's like he's always around white people. It's like, oh, it can't be too many black people here. So that's their mentality, man. They want to be the only.
The bottom line is, hey, look, they're dead weight. And the bottom line is, hey, look, you want to be around that? When shit happens,
he's literally dead weight. He's dead. So
you're on your fucking own. I'm sick of us being bogged down. Why are we fucking bring full force down to a fucking dude who's down there, white people in Mississippi, of all fucking places, going boating, get with a white girl. What the fuck, you insane?
Yeah, are you crazy? Yeah, going boating
in Mississippi. In Mississippi,
are you fucking crazy?
That's when I retire. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't care. It's in Mississippi. He didn't know. Yeah, he's one of those.
Well, now we're supposed to. The old black people supposed to be up in arms about this. I ain't up in arms about shit. That's not. You're in a.
Kyla, yeah, he made that bed, Kyla. Yeah,
you made your bed when I.
Crazy. That's crazy, man.
You seen that one? You seen the one? The girl who the guy said, "This is why we're going to kill you."
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
That's serious. I was going to kill you when I, And these black women can't stay out of these white men's bed.
Yeah, they'll gaslight you and say, "Oh, he's just playing. Don't worry, he's just playing."
And so, therefore, when it happens, like that girl got killed in Tanzania, we're supposed to be all up in arms. Black people mad because we weren't taking up arms. Oh yeah, kill one of my sisters. Fuck her. You know. So like I said,
The white guy was like,
dead
that white
weight
guy
in
was
our
like, "I'm gonna take you to land of your ancestors, the kangaroos." Man, I swear to God,
So the bottom line is,
he had the audacity. He had the audacity. That's crazy.
so as you tell these people all the time, look, this is what's going on in this country, right? This is what's going on. This is the program, right? They refuse to listen, right? And then we gotta freaking come in and march and protest and every almost everything for the most part could have been avoided if, uh, especially when I see black people, they be going to all white areas, right? Acting a fucking fool. Don't you understand when you go to a white community when that you're all eyes is on you, you ain't gonna get away with nothing. They be in white people's shopping centers and whatnot, doing all kinds of stupid shit. Waiting for a time where the police could roll up and say, "Let me see your ID." You go pop a, look, cops ask you for ID, give them the fucking ID so you can be on, whatever like that. He already made it determined that when he approach you that it could go down like that and you could be brutalized, right? So just cooperate with him. Or when niggas get pulled over for a traffic, why I got pulled over? It doesn't matter.
Yep, just cooperate, exactly.
Just cooperate, right? Because when something happens, now you want to rally the whole community behind your stupid ass, So
yeah.
And then they release the body tape and they say, "Oh, he was just a fuck man."
When we see the body tape, we look stupid, The cop gave him all kinds of chances and whatnot, and the motherfuckers still want to pop off. Yeah, that's what I'll talk about tonight, And also, what do you think about what I said, DK, about content creators?
They're dead weight, man. A lot of these guys aren't doing anything. Like the Anton Daniels, man. He just talks shit about black people, but he has
Same thing with Brandon Tatum,
Brandon Tatum and Brandon from Cali. What was it? Pan
African
anti-black
black thing, Fucking clowns, man.
He's a real disappointment, man.
Yeah, so I always knew Brandon was fake,
But like Dark Migo said, it's something about Cali, black dudes from Cali, man. I don't know what it is.
I think it's that sunlight and being around white women,
Yeah. It's not just him. It's him, Dionys, O'Shea. They're all on some type of
California. I don't know. I don't know about them bros out there. I haven't met one solid brother from Cali yet. I have yet to meet one solid brother from Cali that's really strong,
I give credit. Well, weren't the Black Panthers founded in California?
Yeah, they found in Oakland,
Oakland.
And then, they've spread, the chapters spread throughout the United States,
Yeah.
And
then they started letting white people in. That was the downfall.
Yeah. God also smart.
Olosho bless her.
Hey man, you know what time it is, man. $30. Man, I agree. I agree with everything Carla's saying today. The only problem is that, Darmigo, me and Carla had these conversations. I try to tell him that, yeah, your message is good, but like you're the only show in town. You get what I'm saying? Like you're the only one that's late night putting in this work. You get what I'm saying? So if we don't have enough, like what I'm saying is we could cut everybody off. But that still goes back to my original point that we're doomed as a people because 85% of black people
are doomed as a people. I'm on the side of Black people America that's doing good.
What Carla, DK? Does Carla even understand? He making my point.
Those people that are doomed, I don't give a fuck about.
But what I'm saying is that Carla, that's the majority, though.
I don't think so.
Nah, Carla, hold on for a second, Carla. Like this, like Carla, this ain't what we think. This is what's facts. This is what the facts. 87% of black women are single mothers.
Yeah, but 70% of black people in the middle class.
Carla, but you making my DK, does he not understand? He keep making my point.
How are we all doomed? Say we all fucked up, yeah, but we're not fucking doomed.
Carla, we're doomed because the black. If you got a business, Carla, you're a businessman, right?
Yeah.
You run your business. How many people is in your business?
Well, I have an agency, you know, so I got hundreds, thousands of
I
clients.
got you. But how many people you think? Just throw out a number.
What in my agency?
Yes, sir.
I got 50 people.
Okay, 50 people. So let's say in your agency, that'll be 35 people is goddamn not being profitable. What's gonna happen to that business, Carla?
Well, I don't know, because everybody in my business is fucking making money, man, you know.
But see, you Carla, you being disingenuous, bro. You being
Everybody in my
disingenuous.
business is making money, so I don't know.
Carla,
My thing
you're
is this.
being disingenuous.
Hold on, my thing is-
This is what it is. Hold on, Carl. Let me finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you just said that 6%, 7%. I just said 87% of our so-called women. And we're talking about 80, what it is, 72% of black men. You get what I'm saying? That's
hold on, let me say, hold on. Interesting you said that, right? I had an incident today, right? I went to lunch, Wendy's, right? And this cute black girl in there with her son, right? He was like, son was like 5 or 6 years old, right? And she was obviously a single mother, whatever, but she looked like she had money. She had a nice car, whatever, like that, middle class, whatever, like that. But when she was walking out, right, I was like, you know, nodding my head, and she looked at me like, "The fuck you looking at?" You know, like, you know. So my whole thing is, yeah, there's a lot of single women and whatnot, but that don't mean they're depressed, down and out, or need a man, whatever, like that. Because she looked at me like, you know, I don't need you. You know, I got my job, whatever.
Carla, how did you let that little 3-second thing? These women are online on all these websites saying how miserable they are. Hold on, Carla. Let me finish. Carla, you clearly out the loop on this one. These women
I don't go by what I hear online. I go by what I see in real life.
Carla, what you see on life is your anecdotal, that one experience. You got millions of women online. You got these chicks going to they having these seminar. The same thing you was talking about today. They having these seminar groups. They have them in Atlanta every weekend, where you get hundreds of women coming in. They get a panel up there. This is every week, dog. This is what I'm saying. And they up there. Hold on, Carla. Let me finish, Carla.
I agree with you, right? But you know something? That's also happening in the white community too. You know,
what the hell they got to do with us?
No, but my point I'm trying to make is this. That's not my point I'm trying to make. My point.
What point you trying to make, Carla?
Okay, my point I'm trying to make is yes, we can understand that marriage is dead. Your single motherhood is the thing, but that's fine, right? But my show tonight was right. While all that's going on, right? There's just as many people who are single mothers or what you said, going to those panels or not, but they're basically taking care of themselves. Right?
That still goes back to what I'm saying about we rugged individualists. See, Carla, this is the thing. This is what's shocking when you talk about the content creators, because the same thing that you're talking about is the same thing they're talking about. They're saying through all the mess that's going on in the community, I take care of myself. I make sure my home good. It's exactly. Carla, if everything comes out your mouth is that's not a community.
We don't care about the community.
Well, then that is then.
So that's what I said. We don't give a damn about the community anymore. You know.
Carla, hold on now. Hold on, DK. Let me say the last thing. Carla, if we don't care about a community, then by logic, DK, what are we?
Well, we're
doomed. We're doomed.
You know. My point I'm trying to make is this, right? When people talk about a community, right? Community is give and take. I'm sick and tired of people only talking about community when they want something. Community should be about sacrifice. Sacrifice that you give in as much as you give. We don't agree. We have congregations and neighborhoods. Community people get together and they got things together. Because like I said, where I live at right now, it's mixed race, but it's a community because we got different things, civic leagues and stuff like that. We know what's going on. Neighborhood watch, we got all this stuff like that going on, you know, events and everything. It's a community, you know.
I agree.
my whole thing is when you talk about black people, you don't have a community. You know, you have a congregation. You know,
I agree. So how do you
it's always
say?
been like that.
Well, no, it ain't always been like that, Colin. It ain't always been like that.
It's like
It,
this.
it came about, Colin. You said something earlier, and you probably don't even realize you said that. You started talking about when the internet, when all these people got on the internet, and people start putting all our business out there. You remember you said that, like,
Yeah.
so it ain't always been like this, Colin.
Right. So, but in
Remember when
reality,
we was growing,
is-
Colin? Remember when we was growing up? It was the white people that was in everybody's business. It was the
Right.
white people that were following celebrities around, jumping out the bushes. That wasn't us, Colin. What are you talking about? It's always been. You know for a fact that white people doing all that crazy shit, following. Look at what happened to the. You know, I don't give a fuck about the queen or whatever her name is. The Queen Elizabeth, whatever her name. Paparazzi chased her down till she. That was a white people thing.
Right.
Now you got black people that's doing the same thing to entertainers.
Right. So my point I'm trying to make tonight is that when I say the dead weight is the people who like I said, we all got problems. Everybody got fucking problems, right? Despite all the problems, right? I got problems, right? But I can solve my problems and I'm not looking for you to solve my problems. You got too many of our community, right? And it's not even their fault. Every time somebody gets, we get a thing, like you got people like Phil Scott, and it annoys me when he says this. What are we gonna get out of it? You don't look. I'm not going to the polls. Like I told you, I don't regret my vote. I am not going to the polls thinking what I can get, what black people are gonna get. I went there because I was against Title IX of the Affordable Care Act and a couple other things. That's what I voted for. That was my interest, right?
Yeah, I agree with you.
People who basically think that we got some obligation to the dead weight in our community. The dead weight in our community. That's what I'm talking about tonight,
But let me ask you a question though. How many black people you think that's, like you said, have that feel? What do you think the percentage is of the people that think like Phil Scott? That what can we get? We want to get something. Gonna get something. They're gonna give us something. And people that think like you, Carla. And give me your honest opinion. What you think?
You just brought it right back around circle. It all goes back to the fact that Phil Scott is a content creator.
Right.
And that's what he uses for content. What we gonna get? Well, he ain't got no solid plan.
Yeah.
None
of them do. What I'm saying is, Carla, if you line all of them, DK, do you get what I'm saying? If you line, it's so many countries. He's not the only one. So he has an audience of 100, 200,000. You got O'Shea got an audience of 500, 600,000. You got all these guys that got hundreds of thousands. That equals up to millions of people, Carla.
Yeah,
they're not all watching the same. They all have different subscribers.
Yeah, my point I'm trying to make is this. All right, you can do whatever you want to do, but I can't respect content creators. I just can't respect it because the whole thing is this: we're not getting any place.
I agree with you.
And let me get Bantu Mandika, man. What's up, man?
Salute to the panel. What's up?
What's on your mind, bro?
Oh, I'm just tuning in. Get rid of the dead weight. Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah. So the bottom line, my whole thing is, as long as there's problems in the community, people have something to talk about. Let me give you an example of how smart. I said this earlier. Do you know if I did not know the problems in it? There's a Vietnamese community. There's a group of people in Vietnam called the Hmong Vietnamese. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
Now, what do you know about the Hmong community?
The Hmong community?
The Hmong Vietnamese.
Those the ones that like the ghetto ratchet ones, right?
No, these people lived in the mountains and whatnot. Vietnam. These people like really.
Yeah, they was in Long Beach.
You mean like the monks?
No, not the monks. The Hmong community, right?
Oh,
these are like really primitive Vietnamese people that came in on Vietnam after Vietnam War. They bunch of Vietnamese, but these people were in Wisconsin, right? What happened was a couple of years ago, there was this guy who was out there hunting, right? And these guys hunt. They do primitive stuff, and these rednecks came up on him, right? Talking about, oh man, you beat me, yellow motherfucker. These motherfuckers pulled out their guns and killed these motherfuckers, right? And then they said these are people from the Hmong community. Where these are the most vicious people. Even during the Vietnam War, they were feared. You know, they're really primitive people. And people were like, well, how did they get in America? They said, well, we just, they came in here, through the refugee program.
But
So,
y'all, you don't call that ratchet?
but hold up. What I'm saying is this: although, just like the Cambodians got problems, right, that you won't know about because they keep it hidden. Filipinos got problems that you won't know about. Every one of those groups of Asians got hidden problems you don't know about. How come that the only people that all our problems with is black people because we got content creators putting all our dirt and business out in the street?
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is now we can do the point that I keep trying to make, Colin, is that they're the majority. This majority are man, we did a whole show, and I did a show on people that I call, just like I call Afro Steve, I call them an algorithm 304. They chasing content.
But I think really, to tell you the truth, I don't think the majority of black people are even online. I don't think there's like millions of us.
Tyler, the Shade Room has 75 million people.
Yeah, but they're mainstream. That's like CNN. Shade Room's like a mainstream thing.
That's Colin, think about what you just said, bro. Think about what you just said. You said majority of black people what?
On no lie, but Shade Room got a lot of friggin' white people too, because Eminem.
Of course, Colin, the people that's in the chat are black people and African people. You can look at it every day. It's not white. They take a white people subject, but it's Africans and black people. That's their demographic.
That's my point. If we had our own fucking platforms and whatnot, we could do something. Bottom line, black people don't want to do that. They don't want to create their own platforms and whatnot. So it is what it is.
But then we keep making Colin. If we keep making, think about what you just said. If we keep making everybody else rich, DK, and we don't want to do our own shit and prop our own shit up, what is the diagnosis, man?
Yeah, so the bottom line is, like I said, man, I just sit back and be like, all I can do is when I see, I can't tell you the last time I watched Phil Scott. I can't watch Todd Daniels.
The diagnosis.
Online,
a lot of people watch him, Colin. That's
what I keep trying to.
I know, but the thing is, though, I don't.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
You're one person.
That's what I keep telling Colin. When me and him had a conversation, I say, Colin, I agree with everything you say, but when you get to your bottom line, you go back to you go back to a regular individual.
All I can control is what I do.
Colin, we know that, but that's what we saying that most of the 15% we have to revert back to just only doing what we can because the majority are with that ratchet bullshit.
I say like this, my personal thing is this: they somehow they still want black people to vote. They still want black people's money, their influence, and everything like that. So. It ain't like that, even though they got all these people who listen to him or not, it's not really doing anything good. Let me get Kidola on. Kidola, go ahead. Go ahead, Kidola.
Kara, I want to just add something to this. You see, when your people FBA started this so-called
look, stop the music. I'm not an FBA, and please don't come on my platform call me an FBA.
Now they start making doors now. They start making doors. Derek should start making doors now. You see, he started this war, right? But he cannot end it. They say the Europeans were making doors against the so-called Black American in the States, making the caricature. He started making those caricature right now by putting tethers, making doors, give it to children. I don't know if it's AI looking and whatever is looking, how you play that thing with all kind of multiple race on it, whites, biracial, and so-called blacks inside of those things. He's taking this thing to whereby he will be banned from Africa. He think he's winning. He can't even go to London. Can't go to Australia.
Hey, Condola, in Collar defense, I don't think he knew about the dolls. He didn't know about the dolls.
My brother,
No.
look,
What the
No.
fuck is he talking about?
if
They
If you know about
they
it,
don't start making
if you-
these little dolls of the Africans, like the same way how
Who?
we the FBA people, they start making these little
What
dolls of,
FBA people, man?
bruh, they do it's on it doing the AI generate, but they make it like these little tether dolls.
no,
Hey,
you
this is
see,
my first time hearing about it.
you see, when you want to blow your chances of having a look, you see, South Africa did some certain things. They thought they could do it and go away. This so-called attack on other Africans started 2008. They thought, oh, they'll be anytime they do it. So no, we're not xenophobic. Until today, now they're taking I think they took Israel to ICC. Now Ghana and West African countries are not taking South Africa to ICC. Slowly they will sanction them like they sanction apartheid people. But West Africa started doing business with them, or they coming to invest in West Africa, that would be like total cut off. I would just cut this off. The same thing also happened to these Black Americans also. You don't start a war you know you can't end. You know, you cannot be telling us, oh, the white people are bad. Will you do the same thing what the white people are doing? Then who the fuck are you then? They wouldn't give a fuck what you come to say to us.
Well, I don't know anything. Is this an actual doll or is it an avatar?
No, what are you talking about? Hustle said it's an AI.
You know, so you cannot be choosy when you want to defend. Oh no. It's not us. We're not part of it. Man,
You know, I never even heard of this, man. What are you talking about? I never even heard of it.
let's do Africa. Let's say an African country is making dolls, Daisy Black Americans. Let's say AI, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna happen. They just gonna make AI back. That's all. No.
You know, but it's not gonna be like that, brother.
Stupid
It's
shit.
gonna be, we don't know who you are. You know, we don't really.
Hey,
You know,
hey, don't associate FBA with no stupid shit like that.
no, man, we don't care if it's FBA or not. Look at South Africa. They thought they could free Ghana by giving them passport visa free to South Africa, keep their, and unalive their people there, but get a gold renewal. Ghana drive them away, go back to your country and start mining your own diamond. This is our own gold. This you don't think will happen.
Yes,
That dude, by showing those doors, right? That's a perfect caricature what the French did during the slave trade or colonization, whatever, to justify why Africans are not human beings. You put call us monkeys on national TV, on national platform and everything. We're quiet. Oh man, Black Americans call us monkey, bro.
Look, like I said, Condola, we have a lot of dead weight in Black America. Do you understand the topic of the show?
But man, look at Cameron. That rapper, that person rapper, they have no teeth. That want to do fake teeth in his mouth. Say Africa stink. Say raise up your hands up, Africa who's the same thing.
Yeah, but hold on. You talking about Cameron?
Yeah.
Cameron. You talk about rap. You talking about the bottom of the barrel, Condola. And this is what I'm talking about.
Look, hold on. Look, when somebody said, look, to amplify something is very good. We will mistake some maybe South Africa. You people amplify it.
These are the people that's in the spotlight, Colin. So
hold on, Condola, Colin, do you know what Cameron is doing now though?
No.
Cameron is one of the top sports
creator, right?
Yeah, he's one of the top. This ain't got nothing to do with rap. He has a platform. Like he got millions.
Let's bring it back around, Colin. He a content creator.
He's a content creator now. I'm talking about and Colin. He ain't up there looking like no degenerate rapper. He up there with suit and ties and. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. They get dressed up.
They get dressed up in there. They even got a female on the.
He hosts. He hosts a sports show, and he has guests on and stuff like that. I could deal with that. He's in the studio like that, but he's not just sitting there randomly gossiping about everything that's going on in the community. That's the difference.
Yes,
Man,
yes, he
Yeah.
do.
but
Yes, he do. He
bro,
ain't
bro,
just talking.
You know,
He ain't
it's
just
a
talking
type
about
of
sports.
Let's
they
say
from
like that.
Harlem.
Okay.
You know they gonna gossip,
They
bro.
from Harlem, Collar.
Look, I watch. Look, I watch him in the drink club and all that stuff like that. Okay, you got guests on stuff like that. That's one thing, right? But I'm just talking about people.
Collar, that's a whole. You talking about two different things. The Drink Club is the Puerto Rican guy.
You know, Nori's black.
That's
Yeah,
Nori.
that's
That's
Nori
Nori.
shit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
Nori
Nori.
man,
shit with the
But
radio. He has his
what
own
I'm trying
thing
to make
called.
is,
It's called "Come and Talk
bro,
to Me." That's his name.
Yeah, they gonna sit there
hold
and
bro,
up.
get drunk and
Hold up.
talk
There's a
shit
difference. To
anyway.
me, there's a
So
difference between hosting a show, right? We're hosting a show where you have guests and everything, and just being a random content creator.
What I'm saying is that they don't have guests on the show, Collar. They just sit up there and talk like a podcast. They don't have guests on Come and Talk to Me.
I have a problem with that, but the bottom line is this: you cannot, in the long run, be like, okay, well, okay, what are we doing? Like, people take these people and they ask them their opinion on major things that affect everybody else. Like, what do you think about that? Who they go to every time they want to? Or when Kamala Harris, when she was trying to run for office, who they do? They reached out to all the so-called content creators, Roland Martin, all these other people like that, because they content, right? And they paid them off, right? Even though there's nothing substantial that Roland Martin and Al Sharpton does that would warrant they have legitimacy in the community because they haven't built it.
y'all don't want to look up to these motherfuckers, Collar. People
I don't
like
look
you.
up to 'em.
Yeah, you do.
How the fuck I look up to him, Betty?
And when that motherfucker was running around Africa, oh, look at I show speed. That's a fucking content creator.
I got to agree with Batu on this one. Everybody went crazy talking about that's gonna change. That's gonna change everything. I agree.
It was gonna change the world.
But the bottom line is this: you got 50 million people. He's a content creator, and you only say that because it was a Pan African event.
I don't listen, Colin. I'm not saying that because it was a Pan African. I'm saying because it's a content creator.
Who's a Pan African?
I Show Speed.
I didn't even know he was a Pan.
That's what
I'm saying. I didn't even know he was a Pan African.
Who told you that, Colin?
Oh, Pan Africanists were using I Show Speed.
I'm just saying. I'm just using that as an example.
He's not.
We can go to we can go to anybody you want to.
He never came by his mouth even said anything.
What I'm saying is,
He's not
going to
Pan
African countries,
African,
right? That was basically showcasing the fact that there's still an interest in Africa among a lot of black people.
He's been all over the world. He does that for every continent. He just went to Jamaica.
Black people really picked up steam because there was a lot of people who was like, "Oh, I didn't know Africa has such nice buildings and all shit like that." So it shined Africa in a better light, than it has been done in the past.
No.
Yes, it did.
Colin, it's plenty. You got people like even though I don't like Warden Maya got millions of subscribers. I Show Speed ain't the first person, and on top of that, he don't even spend that much time there. You got a whole lot of. I can name you about 10 content creators.
I used to watch Warden Maya's shit hustle. I used to watch it.
Yeah, I can tell you about 10 with millions of subscribers and millions of views that they show Africa, all different countries and everything. I Show Speed definitely wasn't the first person to put it on the map like that. Like they got even Nigeria has their own. They got Stephen Oyoko. He got like 15. Yeah, he got like 15 million subscribers.
He behind anybody hustle.
Yeah. And he does it, and that African, that dude from the Nigeria, he does it professional. He got a drone. He got like the people that shoot it. And you know what the funny thing got to call it? The biggest ones that go to Africa are the ones that's from other Africa. Cause they got two of these little Albanian dudes or dude from Kazakhstan, whatever the fuck. When they go over there and do these, what is another white boy? He goes over there to Africa all the time. You talking about all his views is like 10 million, 15 million.
The Beast.
Well, the Beast is too, but you know what I'm saying? But that's but think about the Beast. It took somebody like the Beast to go over there and dig boreholes.
That's
like think about that.
They were
Fucking
mad about
sad.
that because
And
they
that's
were
why
like,
these
they were
fucking
mad, man.
Africans look at these dumbass motherfuckers like some kind of savior.
Bro.
But
No,
what I'm
the
But
saying
the
Africans
beast,
were
is
mad
that
because
hold on. The
what I'm
beast
saying
went
is,
they
why
were
to
would they
mad
get
because they put
mad
it on the
though?
internet.
Why would
I
they
ain't
get mad,
mad.
DK?
Because they were
When they
mad
could
because they
have,
made him look bad.
I ain't
That's
mad
it.
at them.
They made him
you,
look bad.
the, the
you know
beast.
what somebody said, this
I ain't
African
even mad
YouTuber
at them,
said?
man.
He said that a lot of Africans talk about always doing big things for Africa and they don't even do the small stuff first. Take care of the small stuff. And I had to agree with that. Because if you talk about building business, you talking about building buildings, just how about these people, they just want clean water. Start with that.
Bro,
And it took a white
bro,
boy, it took a white boy to
A
just,
fucking borehole.
yeah.
look. He said nobody forced him to do that. He came to do that himself. You see, way back, it's late 90s and early 2000. And Africa now become a zone. If you want to boost your career for white people, you can go just do some charity, adopt some kind of a boy, and said, "Oh, this is me." That's how the McDonald's went over there. Other ones went over there. But what followed later, right? We start seeing that some of all these things Africans are very open people. When the beans came over there, nobody asked him to boil hole over there. He said, "Oh, you people don't have water here? I do boil hole." He did it himself for his own PRO. Africa accepted. Nobody forced them. You understand? So the worst work, let's say those are white. How about the ones that say they look like you and tell us every time they be discriminated against on? They start attacking you, attacking the continent. People over there don't even know nothing about you. You understand me? We don't even know nothing about what's Black America, who they are, whatever they call tether, or they call it tether. You call us tether, but start making doors about us. You know, then you think that dude can come to Africa one day and say, "Oh yeah, I want to visit," like we went to Senegal. I don't think
He don't seem to get it. There are people out
I,
there who
I
don't
think it will be very
represent
difficult for him, bro.
people don't represent us, and you're just saying like, oh,
Yeah,
people
man.
make it that
This
You
point.
is a younger generation coming up. That relation is gonna be destroyed, bro. That's what Kidola's trying to say.
Yeah,
no,
no, but
no. Africa's already getting. Africa's already getting it. Before they were not getting it. Now they start getting it. You start. They start getting it.
they're getting half the story because the bottom line, if you take all your cues from content
No, they
creators,
getting the whole story.
they ain't getting no whole story shit, you know.
Man, do you know how many YouTubers? How many YouTubers just to make money and
Let me ask you a
do
question,
traffic?
sir. How many
Even the
how many of these people that be talking shit about Africa actually got a passport and went there?
but if there's no white people, the one sitting by the
You can talk all you want. The bottom line is this: only person that's credible with this is someone like myself, Dinus, Bomani, and stuff like that. Because we go to the continent,
no,
you know.
the
All these
Caribbeans also
people,
getting it so slow now. You see,
Stop
have never
that
been out of their
bullshit.
fucking
There's
parents.
all kind of FBAs that have been to the continent, so you can kill that
Look,
Like who?
shit.
Like who?
Like who?
Tariq's
I
been
mean,
to
hell, the
Africa.
ringleader though been on the ringleader go over there 2 or 3 times a year.
Hold up. Tariq goes over there because
Hey,
he's monetized and like that, and he's a public figure. Name me one ordinary so-called FBA person who's been there.
Hustle, haven't you been there?
Yeah.
Hey, that's one for you right there.
Smart's not an FBA.
That Hustle Smart is FBA.
No, he's not.
I'm not FBA, man.
He just denounces like every now and then, but
No, nobody's FBA. It's stupid, man. You know.
no, bro,
Let me tell you,
you can see.
let me tell you
just
real
like
quick,
you,
man.
Colin, you try to denounce us too, but y'all.
The
Hey,
bottom line, look. Let me tell you. Let me put it to you like this. Give me a second. I'm smart.
No, you go ahead, sir. It's your show, man.
go ahead.
Bottom line is this. Look, let me tell you. Put it to you in so many words. I didn't fucking originate in this fucking country. Did that make it clear for you? How could I have a foundation in fucking captivity? What are you, insane? Like you saying I was born in a fucking slavery. I'm a foundational black man. Who brought you to America? No, I'm in captivity. I'm brought here. My ancestors were brought here against their will. I'm never gonna be a foundation to this country. That make it clear to you?
Who sold you into captivity though?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, that don't matter.
had me in
That part doesn't matter. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
But see, that's where the difference come in at, because Collar doesn't call it's there's a thing about it. This is where two things can be right at the same time. Collar can be right and say, well, I don't blame the people that sold me. I blame the people that bought me, because the people that bought me treated me bad for years. I can understand that. And I can understand LBA saying, well, you know what? I'm gonna blame the person that sold me. I'm gonna blame the person that
it's killer season. Ain't nobody getting a pass.
what I'm saying is I can see both parts.
You
know, I'm not gonna say one is
I'm gonna give him a pass.
I can see both. I can see both sides in the fact that if they had the way to do it all over again, they do the same exact thing.
Yeah,
you had to be broken.
My point I'm trying to make is this: when I studied the slave, I used to think like that. But when I studied the slave trade, I want to know a couple of things, right? When Europeans came there to the African continent, right? You know, the slavery did not just happen overnight. It took like about 100, 200 years before the slave.
That's why you cannot get an African a pass, because the shit didn't happen overnight.
No. That's
they perfected this shit with the fucking Arab.
Hold on. If you hate the white man as much as you hate Africans, you get somewhere. See, you love the white man, so I
think that you can hate both of them equally, because Tyler, you're saying that because the white people set up the shop and they got married into it. I just don't understand how that. I don't understand how that gives them solace.
Turns out I have never seen an FBA say anything bad about white people.
Man,
I can't say that.
Sit over here being disingenuous.
I can't say that though, because they talk about how they call white people the devil too. They call them.
Hold on, look, I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna play y'all something, right? Hold on, let me go. Let me look for Afro Elite. You know, Black Alpha.
You gonna play Black Alpha? He talk about white people all the time.
The Black Alpha Network. Let's look at some of his top topics, right? All right. Okay. View channel. Let's look at some of his shows, right? Okay. Blah 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 blah. You know, Democrats.
Yeah, to me, DK, nobody gets no pass when it comes to that slavery shit. To me, the white people are the Africans. They don't get no pass, man.
Yo, Sim, if they had the chance to do it today, they do it again today.
They'll do it today.
They still doing it today.
Oh, please. Fuck. Yeah, Bantu Badika, have you ever been to the continent?
They're doing.
You think you're gonna disqualify me because I never been to?
You fuck out here, bro. You never been to the continent, man.
What's that supposed to mean? Something?
Yeah.
You have no credibility.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Yeah, you have no credibility.
I could call more Africans on the phone right now, probably nigga than you can.
Look,
so what is you talking about?
Yeah.
You have no credibility, Bantu, because you never been to the continent.
You have no credibility.
They're doing
because
it
you giving somebody a pass that don't deserve a pass.
I ain't giving nobody a pass, but I'm just saying. You gotta have credibility. You gotta go trust.
You think you giving me a pass, nigga? I don't need no motherfucking pass.
You got.
You
pass.
Yeah, they doing it right now.
But they're doing it right now. Let me give you an example.
Exactly.
There's agents in Africa selling people to Russia to go fight in their war.
Oh yeah, well that's human trafficking. Yeah, that's human
trafficking. Telling them lies. That's slavery.
What's the difference between human trafficking and slavery, Colin?
No, there has a difference, right? Chattel slavery was basically something. Human trafficking, what happened on the African continent. Chattel slavery is what happened when those slaves entered that slave ship. It was locked together.
Yeah, but who sold them? Who sold them, Colin? Who sold them?
But didn't they both get? Now I understand what you're saying, Colin. The chattel slavery was worse, but it's just like you saying getting sold. Like they both got sold. Just one had it worse.
And I was trying to tell you how that led to that. Right? Yeah, remember something. When Europeans first came to the coast, they were not looking for slaves. They were looking for ivory. Like and bottom line is, it also we got something for you. A lot of people on the west coast of Africa, people think Africa was Africa. But not Biafra. Was it Dahomey was not a really true African kingdom. You know, it was more mixed race. Same thing with Guinea-Bissau. Same thing with Calabar or not. You know, these people were not, and same thing with the Luanda. Because these were people who were mostly mixed race, Creole people.
Mhm.
There was that buffer class of people that created the slave trade for the most part.
Yeah, I
Some were
understand. I get that
really
part. But it still took people from their own community had to go inland to go get those people.
To say that the, slavery came from the indigenous culture of Africa. No, there was cultures of Africa that were mixed with Europeans who thought like Europeans for a couple hundred years. They went to Europe. They saw the outlook of white people and they got corrupted by Europeans. That took 200 years to do.
I agree, but I agree with that, but Colin, but still the black Africans were the majority. I agree with everything you said, that they the ones that started it. They the one came over there, they started, but still the indigenous African was the majority. So if they didn't want that to happen, they could have got
the indigenous Africans were the ones that were
Football film hustle back
You say
then.
they were the ones that what now?
Now they figured out that it ain't.
They were the ones subject to the slave trade.
But they was the majority, Colin.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like you're trying to make it seem you're trying to make it seem like the indigenous never you're trying to say that the indigenous never went after other indigenous people, Colin. That's not it, bro.
What happened is
Africans can be
trade, right?
Africans can take responsibility for their own actions.
People who were selling each other to each other for hundreds of years, you know?
Yeah, but this we ain't talking about that. We talking about this. Colin, I heard from African people not have no ties to no foreigners. How they sit up there and said they apologize for their parents and the stories that they had heard about what they was doing. Not no indigenous servitude selling their people to get up.
My whole point is this, right? Who benefited from the slave trade? Look at Africa, West Africa, and look at America.
I agree with you, but that's two different. That's two different topics, Carlos.
When they sold them, they benefited. They got a piece of jewelry, a bottle of wine.
Hey, Colin, what type of car you got?
I got a Mercedes and a Mitsubishi.
Okay, say this you sell me your Mitsubishi for $500, and then I turn around and sell it for $80,000. What the hell they got? It doesn't matter.
The point I'm trying to make is
that just means you didn't know the value of your car. And the Africans that still today, Colin, they don't see each other as valuable. They over there doing it now.
This is why Pan-Africanism is a dead end.
Yeah,
you have to do all this fucking manipulating and dancing around it. Man, it's just done, man. If you can't just be honest and say both sides are culpable, it is what it is, Colin.
Okay, hold on.
We know it. I know it.
Let them go.
My people sold other people, Colin. It is
Let them talk.
It's a dark part in our history.
Hold on. I'm not a Pan-Africanist, but I will say this. When you have the world mercantile system, right? The world global system, the banks, everything like that, relied heavily on free labor and the expansion of the new world. Slavery, the slave trade was going to happen regardless of what Africans thought. It was going to happen. One way or the other, Europeans were going to get those slaves to do that work. Whether whatever like that. So Kidola knows it.
Me that come from a kingdom that sold, me that came from a kingdom that sold slaves. I will tell you the whole truth about. I'm from the Benin Kingdom area. The Benin Kingdom is a vast kingdom, composed of other people, other tribes. The Oba of Benin was the head of that kingdom. He was the ruler. That means to say, if you want to analyze you can analyze you with the soldiers, right? But not the other citizens that live in that cycle that they won't carry out this thing. It put fear into people. So my tribe, I'm from the Esa. We were doing things together, right? Fighting and everything. But see what happened. When you misbehave, he will use his troops to come out. If you disobey him, he will use his troops to enter your territory, deal with you, and enslave your people. possibility to even do some kind of human sacrifice on these people that he catch up for the gods. And when he was doing these things, until a cup get full, even not for the British that came, that kingdom would have even been divided more than that. What you're saying now, my tribe left him left that kingdom to talk with in the same state because my ethnicity, not my tribe, left that kingdom because he was dealing with us and we don't want to take a crap anymore. What did he do? He invade us and deal with our women and children and slave some of our people heavily. Until we fought back and deal with that king at that time, we unalive him. That's how we get our freedom, So not everybody, not the whole of Africa, is the man that is on top. Like what Donald Trump is doing now in Iran. Can you blame the whole America supported him? No. Donald Trump just organized his troops and said he have power. This king's supposed to have power at that time. The Oba of Benin took his own son to Portugal to study Portuguese. When the guy came, he started speaking Portuguese. He became a Christian. That's why he was the one that found Lagos called Eko, because he was more on the ferry now. To invade other places and that's that man discovered Lagos at that time. So not everybody know. That's why nobody know much about the slave trade. But now that there's a trouble now, even in so-called in Edo State himself, because not everybody like that king. The other one that break out doesn't like him, because of the past. The past is still bothering. If the British had saved that kingdom would have been destroyed a long, long time. Because people are already running off. Running off before even the slave trade even started. We run off at the age of 40-something. When did the slave trade start? 50-something. To 60-something. 16, something like that. So you have time to invade other people and sell them to slaves. Because they agree with him. They don't want him. It's too authoritarian. And we today we don't like each other. My people say, don't marry from the Benin people. That was still going on there. So the wall of the slave trade, what caused that slave trade, is still heavily embedded in hatred. Only right. You see the surface of people, but until you went deep and sit with them after dinner, you hear what they're saying. That's when you now understand the what lead to that slave trade. You see what is the problem today by saying don't marry from that tribe. Don't marry from this people.
Hold on, Kadol, for a second. I agree with Carla 100%. I agree with Carla 100% that the white people got a better deal out the situation. I understand that. But it still doesn't change, like I was talking about your car, Carla. If you sold it to me for $800, that's what you wanted. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what you wanted for it. So what I'm saying is, just because Africans got a bad deal, they got what they wanted. If they thought that Mandika was worth an umbrella and DK was worth a bag of salt, that's just what they thought it was worth. But what I'm saying is, though, they took DK and Mandika to a whole nother country and built their whole economic system around it. And then what did the Africans do with it? They ate the rice, they shot the guns, they drunk the liquor, then they be like, oh shit, let's do it again. Let's keep this going. So what I'm saying is that of course they got a bad deal, but they kept making the deal.
Is the motherfucking #1 in the world because some slaves that they sold. Now they hurt.
Yeah. See, and that's why when Kanye West said this, I know a lot of black people didn't say that, because I still feel like, I don't know how my life would have been if I was still in Africa. Would I be one of the talented, my family that come from prominent? Because that's from what I saw in Nigeria, and that, you got to know somebody. Like, you can't, hey, man, Digo, man, it ain't off your merit. Like in America, you can squeeze in some places if you got the merit and you got the knowledge.
Even in America, it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but if you got the resume, what I'm saying, if you got the resume, they're gonna interview you. In Nigeria, it ain't like that, bro. It's I mean, it's like family and
what family, tribe,
friends. Like it's really
all that shit.
Also,
like
it started now. It started now with the
You ain't
politician.
a Yoruba or Igbo or
you say it started where, Arkadola?
You ain't shit.
It started now with the politician. When the army were ruling, they take everybody to balance everything, right? They take from the north, they take from the south, they take from every region to balance the equation. That's how Nigeria was being ruled, right? But when the politician came to power, especially the one that came this 1999 from Obasanjo period, now it now become like nepotism, tribalist, and on other thing. So my tribe is the one ruling Edo State right now as the governor, right? He put a lot of my tribe into power, and the Benin people, the Beninese are crying like, yeah, whoa, you only know about the Asian people, blah 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 blah. We say, oh no, you people were there for a long time. We didn't say nothing. So tribalism is what is killing sometimes a country. You understand me? We are very tribal, and to stop that, it was.
As far as Pan-African in West Africa is a dead issue.
No, it was never really there. It was never really there when the army were ruling. They're not okay, everybody. That's why poor children, poor men can go to school and become somebody. People like the Wolo Sheikah, they were all very poor. The former richest man of Nigeria was very poor, Abiola.
Pan-Africanism or something, man. What is
Nothing like Pan-Africanism never really exists among us as Africans. We can come back and fight a common goals and go back to our shares again. I think that's what people see as Pan-Africanism. You know, yes, intermarriage is heavily. It has country marriage is heavy in Africa now than ever before. You can go to Africa now because of the easy way to travel. You can see Mali married to Ghana, Burkina Faso married to Nigeria. That is very heavy now. So they know they are one, but it's not than before. Than before, I don't even know Ghana. I never even been to Ghana. The first time I saw a Ghana, I was very shocked. Or the first time I ever saw Senegal, I was like, whoa, because I only know much about my territory, the blacks there. So we don't really travel those days before as Africans. We only know where we are. Out of the blue, somebody came out from Ghana, it totally looked different from you. You know? Yeah. So that's just the way we live before our lives. But now it's kind of like marrying each other now, especially if they met each other in London, United States, Australia. There's okay, I like you. Doesn't matter if you're Mali or Nigeria. That's how they start marrying each other now. So the term marriage is very huge now, especially if they live outside the continent or West Africa. Even inside West Africa, they still marry each other. The culture is similar. There's no difference too much. You know, only that when you don't know, you don't know. When you start to say, you go, oh, I'm used to it. That's just the way it is, you know. And it's complicated, bro. It's very deep.
Hey, Carla, do you feel or see any type of like Pan-Africanism or reaching out in Liberia when you're there?
Well, it's like this. It's very complicated to explain, you know, because I'm Black American. They have an idea that I'm race conscious. You know, they listen to enough, you know, rappers and you in Liberia, you'll hear Malcolm X speeches on the radio. You'll hear Garvey speeches on the radio. You hear all the Pan-African stuff, you know, from back in the days, you know, the UNIA. And you'll hear a lot of, you know, 5-Day Adventists, you know, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's like Liberia is like being in a part of Black America, right? And so therefore, it's like a natural fit when you go there. You know, it's almost like it's a Black country, you know. And it's like I don't think we call it Pan-Africanism. It's like you're Black, you know, and we're all from Africa. That's all it is. But as far as like Pan-Africanism, Liberia is trying to rebrand itself as a Pan-African head, you know. But as far as like the day-to-day person, like that, you know, everybody understands it's a Black country. That's the whole thing about Liberia was never colonized. You know, we don't have a white population. You know, we don't have all that stuff like that. So therefore, it's a natural Pan-Africanism, right? Where Black people are Black. You know, you're Liberian, you're Black. You know. So we don't have whites and everybody else. you're black. So that's a natural Pan-Africanism. There's nobody walking around talking about RBG till I die and all. No, you don't have that. You know, it's just the fact that when you go there, you'll see Nigerians sitting there chilling with Ghanaians. You'll see African Americans chilling with other people. You know, and everybody getting along in the clubs and everybody like that. No one gives a shit about where you're from. You got dudes from Philly. You got people with American accents, dudes with Liberian accents. You got Black Americans there. You got Liberian Americans there. Nobody gives a damn. You got Nigerians. Everybody just chilling. So I would say, yeah, Pan-Africanism in a way works in Liberia because nobody gives a damn. If you're black, nobody gives a damn where you came from.
And see, that was my problem when I went to Nigeria, is that I felt that as soon as I got off the plane, as soon as I started talking, I was treated differently. Like you treated differently. Like you see people moving out the way or moving you forward, or people you gather a crowd. Like people be walking by and they'll just stop. Like you know, I kind of felt like a lab rat. Tell you the truth.
They don't do that in Liberia because they're used to seeing Black Americans there. You know, the culture is so similar to Black America. They don't really make a big deal about Black Americans being in Liberia. You know, I don't feel special or anything like that. You know, when I'm there, you know, I don't feel special at all. You know, and so I love it. I don't like standing out. You know, and stuff like that. I keep quiet. You know. People don't know I'm an American until I open my mouth, you know, and then sometimes I can fake it, you know, with a Liberian accent, you know.
See, that's the one thing about being in Nigeria, Colin. You can't fake that accent over there at all. You can't fake that shit over there. But let me say this right here, though, Colin. This was one of the craziest things that I noticed that I didn't like about it. Is that I felt like I couldn't talk. I felt like every time I opened my mouth, either a crowd gathers or people talk, or it was like wow, seeing a brand new puppy or something. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't feel it. I'm not. Damn, let me pause for the fire truck go by. It's not like that like somebody was gonna do something to you, but you just felt like everything that's like if people wasn't smiling or talking, all of a sudden you talking like, oh yeah, my brother, you know, it was like that. So it just seems like it was. I hate to say the word Bantu, but it's like fast fakeism. You get what I'm saying? Like the fakeness come out
real quick.
They switch. Now, let me say, I'm not saying in a bad way, but it's just like
I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just like I never forget. I was at it's a popular place called Chick Republic. It's sort of like KFC and Popeyes mixed together, but they got better side dishes, though, way better side dishes. And so I was in the line, and then it was like 3 people ahead of me. Me and my handler, right? So the person saw us walk in because I'm telling you, I'm 6'3", and it ain't that many people that's around that 6'3" like that. You get what I'm saying? Like the guys kind of run at about 5'10", 5'9". You know what I'm saying? Like 6'3", you stand out. You know what I'm saying? And then when I walked in, the guy clearly was talking to the people in front. But when I walked in, I started talking. And then the guy just started with his hand, he kind of moved the people in front of him and asked me to step up, you know what I'm saying, say something. I'm like, why the fuck? I'm like, they was in front of me, and the people was like, no, you go ahead. I'm like, hell no, y'all go ahead. You was here before me. Do you get what I'm saying? And I felt so bad. I just paid for the 3 people that was like 2 or 3 people that was in front of me. I paid for their stuff. But what I'm saying is that I didn't like that feeling because now they see me just the same way they see the white people. That's how they
see a Black American just like they call it Oyibo. That's what they call it. In Nigeria, they call Black American Oyibo. That means white people.
Like my handler like my handler, she was talking. I heard her talking to her friend, her cousin, or whoever, and she was like, "Oh yeah," she's like, "Oh, the dude, he's nice to you, you know what I'm saying?" And then I was asking her, she said something, and I don't know what word she said. She said, "Yeah, she see you as a white man." She
Yeah.
called you a white man. You get what I'm saying? And
They
I'm
don't
like, so
care
y'all,
how dark you is or none of that.
yeah, but see the thing about it, they don't do it by color. They do it by status.
Yeah,
They're basically saying like okay, the best way I can explain this, Bantu. So when you at the market or anywhere, they're always asking what the price, or they're trying to negotiate or haggle or whatever. But then when they see you coming in, you're not doing none of the haggling, none of the, back and forth. Then they see you differently. Of course the price is gonna go up or whatever. But what I'm saying is that they see you as like, and not saying that they see you as the colonizer. They just see you as financially sound like white people. That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah.
And Colin, I'm telling you, Colin, that ain't no good feeling. That's why I always be asking you about Liberia, because you get what I'm saying. Then the point now, I have to get my handler to talk for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, me personally, I learned how to navigate around there and whatnot. Navigate. When I first got there, man, I was like, I was wet behind the ears. Now I know how to get along in the country. You don't make yourself too available. You just act like you know what you're doing and don't act too sure of yourself and everything. You get along. Liberia, you'll get along. If all possible, take somebody with you that's Liberian. Let them do the majority of the talking.
But you know what? It's just like you told me.
I'm gonna buy something. I do very little talking and haggling. I let people do it for me.
But like I say, Colin, you like you told me, they deal with the American dollar, so it's more things. And like you might meet somebody that's been like when I was there, I didn't meet nobody that had ever been to America or out the country. Like all the people like Kadola, the people that talk to,
every time you Liberian, they just got back from America, and
that's what I'm telling you the difference. Everybody that I saw, for the majority of people, they ain't never been to America. They ain't never been to America. They ain't never been to Europe. They ain't never been out of Nigeria. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like somebody like, say for instance, Colin, you from Virginia, and then somebody ain't never left out of Virginia. You be like, damn, what's wrong with you? You ain't never. So you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying,
there's people here, been here their whole life, never left the state.
Yeah. But what would you say about those people? You like, man, you saw what's going on. So what I'm saying, we say something about people like that, or we categorize people like that. But what I'm saying is that in Nigeria, is the one thing that I hate about Nigeria and that I like about Nigeria at the same time, Bantu, is that you have to have a handler with you. You have to have somebody with you. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to have somebody.
Why do you like it and why do you don't like it?
Because if you have somebody with you, your money will have you living somewhere like Beverly Hills. For about $200 a day. You'll be somewhere like Beverly Hills.
You be in Lake Key Beach somewhere in a penthouse.
I'm telling you. So they have that part over there. The only thing bad about that part is that it's like dry. It's like nothing really popping. You get what I'm saying? Like you still gonna have to, it's almost quiet in the street. You get what I'm saying? Like, and things are not open as late on the rich part. So you still gonna have to go across the bridge to close by the airport, and those where you're gonna see your 24-hour spots, and people still out there selling street. You ain't gonna see that shit over there like that. So when you over there, you just live in the lux. You know what I'm saying? It's like luxury, and that's it. But they don't have a lot of the amenities. You see what I'm saying? They're just like luxury living. So it's different from like America. You can go in the rich part. You're in Chicago, right? I mean, you're in Illinois. So you can go to the rich part of Champaign or wherever you're from, and you still it's still movie theaters out there, still restaurants out there that stay open late, still bars that still. That ain't how it is. The rich is just like, It's almost like you're cut off from the rest of the world. Like the rich part of Nigeria, Lagos is like, you know what I'm saying? You're in a whole different
Let
world.
me get back to the topic. I'm looking at Black Alpha
Yeah,
Network.
that that hood culture, that ghetto shit, it ain't gonna last. It just not.
Yeah, in the FBA's ghetto culture.
No, it ain't, man. Stop.
Let me say this.
Fuck it ain't.
You got Black Alpha on right now live, 3,000 people live, and he's talking about Haitians. I guess the DPS, they can't wait till the Haitians start getting deported. This is what the FBA is.
But the Haitians, they bought that on themselves. What?
How? Oh, look, let me say this.
It's TPS. How long is it supposed to last?
I know that, right? I know. Okay, temporary protected status, blah blah blah.
But I do feel sorry for him, though, kind of.
And so, but the main thing is this: I can have empathy, right? I understand that, like I said, we can't dead weight. We can't hold on to dead weight. It's a loser. Like I said, me give a perfect example. I'm saying I'm gonna shock a lot of people. This is why a lot of black people don't run out there and support going against ICE. Because for a fact when they say, oh, lock it, for a fact, let's put this. You're in the country illegally. You had a legal alien that raped a 2-year-old girl. You heard about that, Hustle Smart?
I did. We had one that raped a college girl for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, so these people in the country, and then you got people who want to bring all these people here, and it's okay. I'm like, no. So I'm like this. Your that issue is not our burden. Did you see also a couple of these transgender kids wilding out? Say my pronouns. Violent. Now, are we supposed to carry this dead weight around forever?
Yeah.
Every time
there's been some trannies shooting up schools, man, recently.
Yeah, and check us out. Now, according to thing, we got to carry the dead weight of these people. That's a dead issue. The gay marriage is a dead issue. Transgender is a dead issue. Illegal aliens is a dead issue. Why are we carrying around this dead weight? They want black people to get out there and galvanize for all this stuff because these people are under attack. They need black people's numbers. We get shit done. But they want us fighting for the transgenders, gay marriage, and open border people. And also, let's be honest with you, the friggin' deadbeats, people who want friggin' free handouts and all this kind of shit like that. We're going to get something, Scott. And I'm saying to myself, no. What about us black people getting together with the people who are talking about buying black? Let's start that up again. Black real estate, Black Wall Street. Let's start.
They talk it. They don't want to do it. Like it ain't stopping now. One of these millionaires or
Hustle Smart. What stopped them is they got hijacked by content creators. Content creators hijacked the movement.
But how can that stop you, Carl? That's just like saying you got $10 million in your bank account and then somebody on YouTube stop you from doing something you want to do.
We're on a roll. People are buying black apps, whatnot. I always promote black apps, whatnot, black-owned apps, whatnot. Everybody was talking about this. Then Yvette Carnell came out and said, all that do for self ain't doing nothing for us, whatnot, She said that.
Well, that's why this internet shit is a blessing and a curse at the same time, man.
She goes, that do for self. Then everybody started listening to her. Okay, has an easy way out. Easy way out is petition the government for a handout called reparations. And all the movements that we were doing started saying, something? This is a little hard work, man. Getting out there, organizing and cleaning our community up and doing all stuff like, man, it's going to take too long. Let's just sit back and make content, monetize our content by talking about reparations. We know we're not going to get, but we'll make a fortune in the meantime. And how do we keep reparation thing going? We pick a fight with the immigrants. We make a friggin' straw man argument that immigrants we would delineate. Remember, some people started talking about delineation because they thought immigrants were going to get their reparations check. Something that, what I'm saying? They created two straw man arguments, a reparations check and a delineation because you thought immigrants were after your reparations check. And that's what we've been having all these people putting content out there and it became real. People actually think there's a reparations check coming like Bantu, cut the check, you know, and they actually think there's a reparations check coming, and they actually think immigrants are after their reparations.
You understand is FBA can do more than one thing at a time. We can walk and chew gum, unlike you.
Look, the bottom line is this, Bantu, you know, let me ask you a serious question. This is me talking to. Do you think in a million years you're going to get a reparations check?
Absolutely, way faster than that.
Show me the path. Who's going to give it to you?
Holla. I'm going to show you the check when I get it. How about that?
Yeah, you can have mine when I get it.
Is that a deal? All right, deal.
I hear everybody say, Bantu can have my reparations check. You know. But the bottom line is you guys began, the reason why you only believe that, because you had a content creator who was lazy, who got your money to build some fucking museum, you know, and you got another guy.
Hey, yeah, he made actual movies, DVDs. Ain't that more than
look, he makes movies of pseudo.
A museum, that's a physical location. That's not
he makes movies thing. But what remember something, we don't have to go there. I showed you what he said we were getting, and then what was actually that the building got a hole in the side of it.
That's all right. You got something.
He said this is a thing. The one with the picture he put out there, I was like, oh, that's a nice hidden history museum, and what he has is a friggin' looks like a friggin' corner store, like
that's
a bodega.
Right, Father. That's all right.
Like a bodega. When y'all sit down, oh yeah. And all this no exhibits, all the pseudo history, you know. And I'm like, okay, that's it. That's what it is. Okay, pseudo history, you know, no real history. And then he do these DVDs and whatnot, which he pays for. He don't even bother saying, okay, invest in my DVD. You get a share. He keeps all the money himself. So you go out there and raise $80,000 to produce it, right? He sells it. He's making a profit hand over fist. And he gets thing. Now, what you call Usmar? What you call Tariq?
Gorilla hustler.
A gorilla hustler.
Straight up gorilla hustler.
That's some gangster shit, man. You know.
So, what you think, Colin? You think the FBA is just going away? What do you think? You think?
I just think basically, if it wasn't for the internet, you know, y'all wouldn't be existing. My whole thing is this: okay. I don't understand. Now, look, me personally. Some of the talking points at FBA are legitimate, you know. Some of the things they say are legitimate. Now, what let
me rephrase the question. Hold on. Let me ask you like this. Do you think FBA is dead weight since that's the show?
Well, depends on what you mean by FBA. If your idea is, if the FBA spends all their time talking about we ain't African, stop calling us African American. And every time
that's a dead issue because it's right there on the website. So we have African.
I still call myself African American. So
I mean, you have the right to do that.
Check this out. Now, if that's your whole thing, every time I see a FBA, this is me talking, Bantu. Every time I go into a thing, white people can be talking about the black race in Africa, where you got an FBA come out. We're not African. We're foundational Black American. We're pretendians and we're all stuff like this. That's dead weight. Every time you look around, they're like, we're not Africans. They make it a point, even when when it's not even asked. I can see if somebody went on their platform, say you're African. You say, okay, I'm not African. They be trolling, looking for content that has anything to do with Black people, right? And they be like starting shit with Africans, saying Africans are this, Africans that. We ain't African, Africans are dirty, whatnot. You got whole channels, Brian Jehovah. All they do is sit there and disparage Africans, you know? So I'm saying to myself, what use is this group?
There's more than that, Colin. That's just what you
know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And they don't bring nothing to the table.
The FBAs that I watch, I don't know who you watching.
Yo, okay, hold up. Did the FBA believe that they came from Africa?
It's right there on the website, Colin. I mean, do we have to pull up the website?
How can you be a foundational Black American? How can you be American, Black American, right? That means you're an Anglo-Saxon, painted black. you're foundational Black American, right? But where does this foundation start?
So what you trying to say? Black people didn't fight in the Civil War, the Revolutionary War.
We never had a
What you
foundation.
trying to say, Carla?
Hold up. Were we ever given land? No.
I mean, they shot Abraham Lincoln in the head before they could give us the land.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, there was like, oh, we were going to get the land.
I forgot about that, huh?
Oh, come on. You're not a foundation to America because unlike even the Indians, the Eskimos, they got land. You know, they got land. They're foundational to the continent. They got land. You have no recognized territory. You can't point to FBA on a map. Show me FBA. Point to an FBA city on the map. FBA territory on the map. If you don't have territory, you don't exist. I hate to hurt people's feelings, man, but you know, it is what it is. You're not foundational to America. They made sure that.
Hey, that's a lie. They try to make sure that, but
they didn't make sure that. They made sure that the fact that you and me are never gonna have anything but the slums, the margins of this country, and everything bad about this country. You know, you're not gonna have no land. There's no black cities. Even when we tried to build black towns like Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, they burned them down. That ain't no foundation to a country. If you had foundation in this country, you would be able to hold on to what we built. We lost every last single black town in this country. Couldn't protect it. That ain't no foundation to America.
Got a point there.
That's behind enemy lines. So, anyway, if anybody coming back up, I don't know. Hustle's coming back up. DK.
Everybody dropped off.
Yeah, so
I had enough.
I'm tired.
All right.
Well, y'all take care.
Take care, man.